Let's be real for a second, all right? I have 8 children, and not a single one of them came with any kind of instruction manual or survival guide. So I came up with one of my own. These are my go-to essentials, things that I buy over and over again because they genuinely make my life easier, my mom life easier, and they make things run a little bit smoother.
Today's video is sponsored by KiwiCo. We'll chat more about them in just a minute.
Grab some coffee or a water, whatever you got, and let's jump in. First up, we're going to talk about the thing mom needs the most, and that is quiet time essentials, peaceful Zen times where you can get a little bit of a break during the day. However, that requires, of course, distracting the children in some kind of capacity. Ever since my kids were little, I have instilled quiet time that gave me a chance to sit down and breathe and think for a second. The more children I had, this became a requirement. However, we all know that if our kids are not given some kind of direction into what to do during those times, they will get themselves into all kinds of mischief. Over the last 18 years of parenting, I've kind of accumulated some favorites. Quiet time, just activities, things for my kids to do that's not watching TV, it's not playing a video game, it's not playing on a tablet or device. I know some people loathe this stuff, but kinetic sand has been a huge hit in our family. Now, I will say, I waited to add that until my kids were a little bit older, meaning I don't give this to 2 and 3-year-olds until they're old enough to take care of it. But we have had ours for probably 2 years now. They keep it in separate bins. They keep the colors separate. The bins have lids that snap on. They pull it out. They set them out on the table. They play in the bucket, in the kind of flat Tupperware bucket that the kinetic sand is stored in. They have all kinds of little sensory gizmos and gadgets that I've purchased them over the years, almost like little mini sand toys, buttons, scoops, spoons, just stuff like that. And I'll tell you that all of my children, save for maybe like my 16 and 18-year-old, but all the way up to my 13-year-olds, they all still will sit and play with this kinetic sand. So it's a very good distractor if they're old enough to manage it and not make a huge mess with it. And that brings me to create crates. I talked about this a little bit at Christmas time in gift ideas and things, because I'm just a huge believer in giving my kids things to be creative, things that are a little open-ended, that they can just kind of, let the creative juices flow, artsy fartsy stuff, always with the kind of caveat in mind that I do want things to be washable and not like super destructive to our home. But I also don't have like white sofas and things like that for a very good reason. So I do actually have a whole list on Amazon that is like everything that I like to include in our create crates: paints and paper and drawing utensils and stickers and all kinds of things that my kids have so much fun with. And again, just open-ended play. Yes, there might be a little bit of a mess, but again, if they're old enough to clean up after themselves, then you got to get them on that bandwagon as soon as possible. Now, one of the very best things that I have ever added to my mom arsenal, and you know that this is true because my oldest is 18 and we have been using KiwiCo. We have been subscribing to KiwiCo, to their various crates since Kennedy was like, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9, and we absolutely love it. I wouldn't continue to share it if we didn't love it. If you've never heard of them, for some strange reason, if you've never heard of them, KiwiCo delivers monthly crates that are filled with not just like busy work, random craft stuff. We've got that covered. These are projects that are actually focused on like STEM areas or the arts areas where your children are actually going to be having fun but learning at the same time, which is very important and truly the best way to learn. The way to make that learning sticky is to make it fun. My children get so excited when they know that the KiwiCo crates have arrived. I have to like beat them off with a stick to get them to leave me alone until I'm ready, because these are like sanity savers. When I bust this out, it means I'm actually going to get some time to get some other things done. A lot of them can be done without any parent help. The instructions are really good. They're really clear, lots of good picture instructions so that the kids can follow along. I love that this is like a screen-free option that really keeps my kids engaged. And as you probably know, we homeschool and have for the last 15 years or so. And I love having these as an option to kind of beef up and add into our homeschool and other things that we're already learning. And we definitely try to have a few extras on hand that we kind of stash away for a rainy day. They actually saved us during the hurricane in the fall when we had no power, no electricity, nothing. My son actually had a project that included a homemade flashlight, and he made it, and he had that thing. We were out of power for 3 weeks, and he had a flashlight in his room at night to read books and look at things because he had one that he made from one of his KiwiCo boxes. So not just fun, but practical too. If you want your kids to experience the magic of KiwiCo, and it really is, I mean, our kids still get so excited about it after this many years, you know it's good. So if you just go to kiwico.com/AngelaB, you can use my code, which is just the word Angela, and that's going to get you 50% off your first crate when you join a club for kids ages 3+. I will have all that information down below in the description box for you. As you probably well know by now, I absolutely love it when a sponsor that our family loves and uses, and I get to share that with you and get to offer you a discount as well to try this. Like I said, it's been around our house for a very long time for a very good reason. All right, so those are some of my kind of quiet time things. Let's move into kitchen sanity savers, if you will. Number one is having some kind of cup corral. Again, with having 8 kids, people are coming in, getting water cups and refilling all day and stuff, having some place for them to corral those cups. For me, that just looks like a very simple, it's a basket. I think I got it at Target, and it has like dividers in it, and the kids' cups just fit perfectly in there. So that's just set on the counter, and they know that if they go in the kitchen and get a cup of water, that's their cup for the day. They drink whatever and then set it into that little cup corral, and that is where those cups stay until they come back for more water. This way, we're not constantly getting new cups, going through cups, 5 million a day. The next thing are reusable snack bags. I did not think I was going to be a person who was going to be using reusable snack bags. I will not lie. I come from a long line. My grandfather used to hand wash Solo cups and reuse them for a very, very long time. So I guess I come by it honestly. I've gotten into the reusable snack bags, Ziploc bags style baggies. You have a large family, you just have to like everything at scale, right? We just go through things so quickly, and being able to have a reusable snack bag, and they're super easy to just toss in the dishwasher and wash. Same thing goes with these little bento boxes for snacks. My kids are big time snackers. We try to designate just certain times of the day for snacking, but especially if they're going to be sitting down and crafting or working on something, we will often put like a little snack tray with various little things in it. And they share, I mean, just a couple kids around a little snack bin. And it's an easy way to have kind of multiple snacks on the table without a bunch of bowls flying everywhere and making a big mess. Plus, super easy to snap the lid on and take it with you on the go. Having some kind of visual place where people can see the meal plan. If I had $1 for every time I was asked, what's for dinner, what's for dinner, what's for dinner, I'd be a very rich woman. The way that our fridge is, it's like inset into the cabinet. So I don't have like the side of it to put like a magnetic whiteboard or anything, but these are really cool. These like vinyl magnet boards that go on your fridge. So they can go on the front side of the fridge, and they do have like white, black. I have kind of the clear ones, which is nice because I can just write what is for dinner, and then nobody has to come and ask 50 million times. It will save you. I mean, if you're an artist, like if your kids can't read yet and you're an artist, draw a picture. We're having sketty. Draw a little plate of spaghetti, whatever. But if your kids can read, then just writing down, like, don't ask me, go look on the fridge. Nobody needs to ask me what's for dinner. It's already there. I'm telling you, times 8 kids, it's just, they always want to know what we're eating, when are we eating, what's next for food. It's like it's required for life or something. The next little category is kind of like life systems. Spoken a lot about this over the years as well, how important it is to have systems that work for you, not systems that work for everybody else, systems that you see other people using. You really kind of have to be very specific to your family, how your family lives, what your lifestyle is in order to find the systems that actually work. For us, this looks like things such as we have a giant basket for socks. All socks go in the basket. That's it. We don't sort out socks when we're doing laundry and stuff. All socks, all kids' socks go into a basket downstairs by the laundry. That way, socks are not getting lost upstairs, slid under beds, under dressers, hidden, lost, whatever. It's just socks, okay? The dryer eats them, the washer eats them, the dog eats them. Socks can be a struggle. So having a basket where it's just like, come down and find you. I don't match them. I don't just throw them all in the basket. And when you need socks, you can come down and find you some matching socks out of the giant sock basket. It works for us. Is it the most Pinterest-worthy thing you've ever seen? Is it make me like a hyper-organized queen? Absolutely not. But it saves my sanity. and I will keep it. You might be wondering, Angie, your oldest is 18 and you have 8 children. How on earth do you deal with like chores and allowance and blah, blah, blah? Well, number one, I've said for many years, we do not do allowance. You do not get paid for contributing just basic things to the family, okay? Teamwork makes the dream work. We're a team. We don't pay for basic chores. We do pay and offer to pay our children for like above and beyond your basic requirements as part of this family. With that in mind, one thing I love, especially if you're struggling with like screen time things, are these punch cards. You get a giant pack of these punch cards. The set that I got came with a 10 punch option or a 20 punch option. Think about the cards that we used to get, I'm aging myself here, at coffee shops. When you would like go through and buy a coffee and they punch the card, you know, and then by the time you bought 10 cups of coffee, you got one for free. That kind of thing. It's like that, except you put the name of the child on it. It's got a little spot to write their name. You can write like what they're going to get when they get through their punches. So especially if you're looking for things for motivation, these have been fantastic for our kids for motivation. They love it. I got a cute little hole punch. They all stay right together. They love when they get to come up and punch their little hole for, you know, kind of achieving their goal, whatever that is. So for us, it's been great for creating habits when we're trying to get our children to do something habitually day after day. The punch card is a great reminder because it's like this little incentive reward that sits out here. And so maybe the thing that they need to do is something they don't really want to do, but they know and they remember the punch card. That will make them remember the thing. And I do want to mention with the kind of like systems, I'm not going to tell you how to do laundry systems because, well, I don't have like a super efficient laundry system. We just constantly are doing laundry. I just do laundry every day. All right. I don't have a great system for you. But what I do have to tell you about is an amazing stain treater. I have another laundry saver that I like and have shared with y'all before. It got great stains out of my curtains. However, long story short, went to like a horse event thing. The mustard attacked me. It was one of those giant pump things of mustard. I hit the pump. It sprayed mustard, like 3 feet, sprayed mustard at me all down the front of my jeans, okay? I was pretty bummed about it, but I thought, well, I'll just wash them. No. Washed them. That did not come out, which also has me questioning what is in mustard. What are we ingesting that doesn't come out when you wash it? I tried my laundry saver spray. It did its best, but it was still visible. I could still see the stain. And I thought, oh no, these are done for. I'll never get this out. So then I went and got my little jar of the messy mouths that's meant for like kids' food stains. And because apparently I'm just a giant child who sprays mustard on herself, I sprayed this stuff on it, rubbed it in just a little bit, let it set, and then washed them, and it's gone. Like totally gone. Just need to tell you about that because wow, wow, wow. Given that I'd already tried another very good stain remover that did not get it out, I was very impressed. It got out a stain that the other one couldn't. Okay, let's talk a little bit about Mom Car Kit. I feel like I see all these cute videos on TikTok of like the beautiful cars and stuff. I don't have everything like matchy-matchy. I do think that having certain mom items in the car is just a must. Do we still carry a potty? Yes, we do. Are all of our children more than potty trained? Yes, they are. Guess who sometimes has to use the potty? I've talked about this for years. I've been doing this mom hack since I only had 2 kids, and I would go on road trips and they'd be asleep and I couldn't leave them in the car or wake them up to go in some ratty old gas station bathroom. I would go crawl in the back of my little SUV or my minivan at the time and pee in the little kid's potty, toss it off the side, like, you know, behind the gas station, and away we go. We're back on the road again, baby. Having a potty on the go, because I don't care how old you are, when you gotta go, you gotta go. And sometimes, especially for the girls, right? The boys can usually just hop out somewhere and pee, but we don't really have that luxury. A little kid's potty, even the biggest booty can generally at least pee in it. I also always carry the puke bags. Someone turned me on to these years ago, and I'm super glad. If you have a child that gets car sick at all, just always have these. And by the way, I also have these in our nightstands and stuff so that if somebody wakes up in the middle of the night with that random stomach bug that came out of nowhere, sometimes the younger ones especially are not going to make it up to a toilet, but having these bags in nightstands is quick and easy. It's almost like a tube sock, but they've got a little top so you hold it here to yarf in. and it goes down. It's not like it's here splashing. We're getting gross, but you get the point. Those are a necessity for home and cars. I also got this bag. It is not a Hulken bag. Those bags are like $110, which is crazy. They are actually very, very practical. I saw that Target came out with a dupe that sold out like instantly. Can't find it anywhere. I found one on Amazon. It's obviously more expensive than the Target bag, but not as expensive as a Hulken bag. And I love this thing, okay? I have used it just like luggage. I recently went on a little girls trip to the beach with two of my friends. This was so much easier than having a piece of luggage. I can't explain well because it rolls. If you're like a super type A packer and stuff, you won't like that. But for me, throw everything in there, away we go, my friend. If you are going from store to store, oot and a boot, you need to move things from your car to a field or something. Obviously, like within reason, this thing is not meant for off-roading, but I'm surprised by how much use I get out of these rolling bags. Returns, fill them up, roll them into the store when you got returns to make and things. I really, really like mine. And then of course, having like true emergency kit in your car. I see people with their emergency kits that are like, I got deodorant and nail polish remover and some extra lipstick. And I'm like, no, ma'am, we need water. We need some kind of a blanket. We need something for air for a tire, which of course brings me to ladies. If you don't know how to change a tire yet, learn. Do not be at the mercy of having to have somebody help you. That's like my PSA for the day. But yes, I love having like the pre-packed emergency bags of like wipes and snacks and, you know, just various things. But true emergency need things are critical. They're not pretty, they're not fun, they're not flashy, but they're far more important than having, I don't know, like an extra toothpick. With that said, we can't forget about ourselves as moms entirely. Some of my favorite quick fix mom beauty items, okay? And I just have to get myself out the door in a hurry. I love having just a really good tinted moisturizer, okay? Something I can throw on. It's gonna even out the skin tone just a little bit, give me a little bit of glow, make me look a little bit more alive, but I can just run out the door. And with that comes my favorite like under eye cream. It is a kind of, it's skincare. It's not a concealer, it's skincare, which is amazing, but it'll give you just the right amount of like covering up those dark circles without like, you're not putting on a full face of makeup. You're not doing concealer and powder and all the things. It's just an eye cream that has a color to it so that it covers up your dark circles and kind of helps make you look a little bit more awake, a little bit more alive. Love those. You know that dry shampoo is entering the chat, okay? We can't talk about sanity savers and time savers without talking about dry shampoo. I do have a few favorites, but I'll tell you, if I'm going to the drugstore, I'm just gonna grab some Dove. Also the Monday brand, it's like $5 or $6. It works really, really well. Love it. Now, if I was gonna go buy a slightly more expensive one, it would definitely be the K18 Air Wash, which is a non-aerosol. It almost is like just like feels like a water spray, but it's not. It's an air wash spray. Love that. That one is a little more pricey, and I reserve it for more important occasions than just running out the door. For that, I'm grabbing the Monday one or the Dove one. Sometimes it's beyond help, okay? There's no amount of dry shampoo in the world that's gonna help the situation, and therefore you've got to have a go-to hat. I know some people don't like hats or they feel like hats look weird. I just think you haven't found the right hat, okay? That is my philosophy, that every woman should have one or two hats because they are just lifesavers for so many things. You know, I'm not gonna tell you exactly what to do, but I love having like a good baseball cap, and then having some kind of like fall winter hat that's maybe more of like a fedora shaped hat. If you don't like baseball caps, you can do like a sun hat. You've got options, but I'm telling you right now, you got to just find the right shape and cut and things. And as a self-titled hat connoisseur, I can tell you that it makes all the difference, the cut, and whether or not you buy a woman's hat or a men's hat, depending on the size of your noodle. I tend to go for men's hats because I have an oddly large head, weirdly shaped head, I guess. I don't know. But they fit me better than women's hats. If you're like, I can't get behind hats, fret not, because you do have another option. And that is scarves or headbands. Headbands can save a lot. If your hair's really squirrely and gnarly, a headband ain't gonna do it. But a headscarf, properly worn and tied, can again fix a lot of things. So if you're not a hat person, if you're like, can't do baseball caps, can't do straw hats, can't do any of those, how about a more ladylike and fancy scarf. Doesn't even have to be fancy. Bandana, scarf. Options for covering the head when we don't want to wash the hair. And the last thing's in like the mom category for your energy, your self-care, your mental health, all of those things, which actually do matter a whole lot. Even if you're not being precious about it, they do matter. I cannot recommend enough a good pair of AirPods or other of the like headphones. Love Raycons. I've talked about those for years. I have them. Some of my kids have them now because, well, I'm not buying AirPods for children, but Raycons are great. I do love the everyday earbud, I believe is what the Raycon one is called, that I like. They also have a level of noise canceling and stuff. Doesn't beat Apple, but it's still really, really good and for way less money. But being able to just like listen to a book, listen to a podcast, listen to some music while you are cleaning, while you're loading the dishwasher, while you're doing laundry, while you just need to get yourself in a different headspace. I find that to be the quickest way. Music for me can send me into a totally different headspace. If I'm just like, I have all my different playlists for my various personalities and moods, and I know which ones I need to turn on depending on how I'm feeling. Highly, highly recommend, if you're not already utilizing those things, to give it a whirl. Those are some of my unsung heroes, the repeat buys, the things that I just keep buying over and over or keeping in stock. At the end of the day, whether you are juggling 2 kids or 8 kids, having the right tools and systems make all of the difference. That is it for me today, my friend. Hopefully I will see you again very soon. Bye.